Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. So today's task is it is time to do some maintenance on the pivot. This guy, this is our main water sprinkler. It waters 80 acres, goes around in a circle. I did a bad job of not explaining any of this to you guys when we shut this thing off, but it got cold really fast. And so let me tell you a little bit about it. So this pivot from that end all the way down there is 986 feet. There's 128 drops from here to there. This is a 5-tower system, and this one happens to be a Zimmatic, which is produced by Lindsay. In the springtime, our wells are running about 350 gallons a minute through here. At the end of last year, we were running right at 220 to 240 gallons a minute. And that's fairly expected in this area, since I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 8 to 12 pivots that run all within probably a 2-mile area. So what we have to do for maintenance is we need to check the air pressure. We're gonna run about 20 pounds per tire. We need to check the lugs. The manufacturer says that I need to drain the gearbox oil here, and I also need to drain those gearboxes as well. They need to be done on the first, or after the first year of operation. This pivot will be turning 4 years old, and my suspicion is the preview folks did not empty out the oil and change it, so it's got the original oil in it. So I'm going to go ahead and change the oil in all of it. They say, the book says it takes about a gallon per gearbox. We'll find out. The other thing the manufacturer says is the oil should be changed every 4,000 hours. And so Chelsea did some math for me, and basically that comes down to about every season we need to change oil on it. So that's what we're going to end up doing. So we got oil, tires, torque. We also have to, when we're ready to turn it on, we need to unplug that. That is a sand trap, and we turn the water on and we flush the system out, get all the junk out of it and whatnot. So that comes out, and then we'll put it all back together so it'll pressurize. And then there's some Zerk fittings at the very end that we have to hit. I believe there's 4 of them. And the other thing is, the book has told me that there are Zerk fittings on each one of these feeler rods. I have not found them, and I am guessing this is just a case of it's a generic manual and they applied that maintenance to all of their models. So I've looked and looked and looked, I can't find them. So I don't know, I'm not gonna do it because I can't find them. Setup, so we got generator, bucket to catch the oil, air compressor, 5-gallon thing of oil, some tools. We're ready to get started. I need to quit yakking and let's get going. Oh, please, please, please like and subscribe. You do not understand how much that will help me in this algorithm. If you're liking what you're seeing, please just quickly hit that subscribe button while we get set up and ready to go here. I want other people to be able to see the content, and so just please like and subscribe, get me into that algorithm so I can get more content out to other folks. All right, let's get set up. All right, so we can get our generator started here. Battery on, battery on. Okay, maybe I'll give it some choke. All right, so all we got to do is no different than checking the tires on your car. It's just my tires are a little bigger. Whoop. Said I'm going to run these about 20. The manufacturer says you can run them as low as 16, and we're sitting right at 20. That's pretty good. Zipped up here. All right, just a little bit of air, and then we're good. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go around and torque or make sure all my lug nuts are tight. These are 1-inch lugs. They're tight. So we repeat that process for every tire. We've got 10 tires to go do. All right, so we got done with the center drive motors. We had 5 of them to do. We got all that out. And we got busy the night that we started draining the gear oil. So it's nothing fancy. So underneath here is the lug or whatever, the screw. The plug, that's what it is a plug. And we just unscrewed that, unscrewed the top to let some air out, and drained it. There's a gallon of oil in these gearboxes. So we went to Tractor Supply. The manual calls for 85W40 oil, and it goes in at the top. And they say they do not want it any more than the top of just to the top there. They don't want any more because they don't want to create excess pressure in it. So we should be able to just take our tube, if I can get this 5-gallon bucket over without spilling it, that'd be amazing. So we just take our tube, throw it in there, and we can just start pumping on it. There it comes. It is super thick as well. Let me see if I can turn that. Get that a little better here. Yeah. And off it goes into the unit. It takes a gallon of oil. So there's a total of 10 gallons. Oops, I didn't close my lug there. There's a total of 10 gallons in the gearboxes, and there's just under a gallon in the center drives. So there's basically, what, 15 gallons worth of oil in the boxes on the pivot, which is pretty impressive. All right, so we just keep pumping this up till it goes in, and we repeat it. Got the oil up to the top. Chelsea and Temperance are going to finish the rest of those. We're gonna go grease the center pivot. I believe there are 4 Zerk fittings on the center pivot. One of my calves undid my pad, and it's laying over here. We battled the calves last year because they started taking them off. But anyways, next thing we got to do is we got to tighten this before we take off. We'll tighten this up, and then we'll go get the grease gun. We'll go take care of those. I'm thinking we're gonna run this a rotation or 2, and then we'll come and check, and if we need to top off the gearboxes, we'll go ahead and do that. You know, it gets air and stuff like that inside of it, so we'll take care of that after a rotation or two. All right, next thing we get to do is we have 4 grease fittings up here, so we got to climb the ladder and we got to give these guys a shot of grease. There's one right here, and then come around here. There is one right there, and we had to loosen this clamp because it sits here and you can't get the fitting in, so you got to loosen that clamp. So I did that. So we will give this guy a couple shots of grease and that will take care of this. It's just excuse me, it's multi-purpose grease and it just needs a couple of shots. It's always a little balancing act. Well, y'all get the point. All right, so we got that done. The next thing we got to do from a maintenance perspective is we need to go to the other end and open up the sand trap. And let's go down there. Let's do it. Here's some calves. Hello, Sand Trap, we have arrived. So this little guy right there is a sand trap, and it does exactly what you think it should do. It collects the sediment and junk and everything coming out of the well, coming out of the piping. You got to remember, all the underground piping is 70, 80 years old, and so it decays and flakes off or whatever. So we undo it, and then we turn the pumps on and flush the system for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, get all the junk out. It'll create a nice little pile at the bottom full of all the sediment and crap that comes out of it. And then you gotta shut the pumps back off because there's no way you're getting that back on with all the pressure coming through it. And then we'll be ready to go after, of course, Chelsea and Tempe fill the gearboxes. I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not, but I will certainly give it a shot. Oh, let's see here. These things are rough. I gotta brace myself because it will throw you. Well, that was a lot of drama for nothing. Okay, put the clamp down and then get that guy. Ugh. So you can see in there, it is pretty gross. And I really don't want to throw it. I don't want to risk breaking it. So we will put it up here until I get my other hand. Whew. That thing is plugged. That tells me, because we cleaned it last year, so that, look at that. That's just all the dirt and junk. That tells me probably mid-season we need to come and clean the trap out. Oh, take a look up there. clean this trap out once a year, more than once a year. Well, that's good to know, I suppose. All right, well, I'm gonna finish doing that. I'm gonna end the video here. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day. Leave comments, questions below. Leave me a like. We'll see ya.